for my shape tutorial, I decided to make a cat paw because it has something to do with our final project and I wanted to learn how to make it. So to start, we are going to add two div elements with appropriate class names. So the first one will be the cat paw prints. And then we'll add cat paw, and we can add pad to be specific. And then our div, and that is all we're going to have in our HTML. So to start, we are going to first make our cat paw pad, because that will give us a good point to put our paw prints above it. So first we're going to add the width. And we'll just say 50 pixels is probably good. And then the height, 75 pixels last time. Background color is going to be brown. Perfect. And I'm actually going to adjust these a little bit. We're going to say 75 and 100. Now you can kind of see how big they are. So that gives us a decent sized paw pad. So for our border radius, we're going to put 100%. This is 50%. Which will give us a perfectly round oval. Now we're going to want two of these. So we're going to rotate this one 45 degrees. And that gives us a perfectly slanted oval. So that gave us a slanted oval. Now we need to make two of them. So we need a before and an after. We're going to add our content. Up. It's going to start at 0. Left, we'll say 50 pixels. And then let's see what that gives us. So there's nothing because we did not put display block. Perfect. So now we have two ovals and now we need to make them look like a paw pad. So let's change the dynamic of the second oval. Here. So we're going to shift left and we're going to have a different transform. Rotate -45 degrees. And we're going to add a transform origin here with 100% on each of those parameters. So we can see that they are facing two different directions now. We want to replace the display block with position absolute. And then we want to add a transform origin here as well. So that gave us our perfect paw pad. We'll put our two ovals together. Now we want to add several dots on the top. But before we do, we're going to make it so that our paw pad can be controlled by our div class and show up where we want it to. So we're going to put position relative, width is going to be 100 pixels, and height is going to be 90. All right, so that shouldn't have any visual effect on our paw pad. So let's move on to our cat paw prints. So to start, these are going to be a lot simpler. We're going to give them a width of 40 pixels, a height of 40 pixels. We're going to give them a background color as the same as our pad, so brown, and then a border radius of 50%. So as you can see, that's going to give us a perfect circle. Now we need 3 other circles. We're going to give it 4 circles for the paw prints, and we are going to need to change the position so that they spawn around the paw pad. So with that, we are going to add a box shadow. And this will give us, you can kind of play around with the dots itself. But we're going to need 2 measurements. So one that moves it to the right and one that moves it down. So the first one is going to move it to the right. We'll say 80 pixels. And the second, let's see what that does real quick. And we'll just say brown. Okay. Without the other one, it doesn't do anything. So we have to throw in the 35 pixels with it. So that gave us a dot here right by our pad, and that's actually perfectly positioned. If we wanted to add another one, we could. But as you can also see, I want to make sure that you can see if we were to change this to 100, it would move it to the right further. While if we change this to 100, it's going to move it down away from the top of the screen. So like I said, you can play with those. As for the other paws, or the other pads, we're going to throw these numbers in. Nope. All right. Now, as you can see, there's an extra circle up here. To get rid of that, we just have to take the background color off of the whole thing and leave it on the box shadow, and that little circle will disappear. So that is all you have to do to make a little cat paw print.